Why do people above the age of 65 fall so much more? And by the way, why do women fall disproportionately more than men? Let's start with the why do falls happen? You touched on it a moment ago. As we age, we don't just lose our balance. We're losing something else that people my age and certainly her age take for granted, which is called reactivity. The other day, I was in the woods because one of my kids accidentally kicked the soccer ball down into the woods, so I had to go and get it. I had to react very quickly with my leg to put it in the right place so I wouldn't fall. And I did. And I'm sitting here talking about it, and I don't even remember which leg it was. That's how insignificant this was. The type of muscle fiber that was necessary to do that, which if we want to get technical is called a 2A muscle fiber, is the type of muscle fiber that is responsible for explosive movement. Those muscle fibers start getting weaker and weaker and shrinking at about the age of 25. And by the time someone's your age, you got threads of those things left. So you're losing those things. Now, the good news is you can train these muscle fibers, but the only way to train them is to move very heavy weights. A second obvious issue as we age is a reduction in bone density and a reduction in muscle mass. And this is the reason why women are more susceptible than men to these injuries, because for obvious reasons, women have less muscle mass on average and have lower bone density on average. And so all of these things taken together are what mean that, falling is something we have to be very mindful of at any age, but boy, does it play a bigger role above the age of 65.
Is there anything that people of this age can do now to preserve that muscle or strengthen it, or did it have to be done while it was still in their 20s?
A woman named Belinda Beck that I interviewed on my podcast a few months ago. She's a researcher in Australia, and she did a study there that I really was fond of called the Lift More study. They actually increased bone density. I find this to be one of the most uplifting and important findings with respect to aging. And I think it speaks to how the idea that, lifting weights is a young person's thing or a male thing. I think both of those are just incorrect. Lifting weights is something every person on this planet should be doing.